Hello everyone, let's play an interesting game in this video, shall we? Can you tell me in the comments what is common between H&M, Spotify and Ikea? Okay, don't worry, I'll give you some clues. First up, H&M. Did you know that H&M is the second largest fashion brand globally? H&M pioneered fast fashion back in the 1980s, bringing the latest runway styles to the stores worldwide within just 1 week. That's how it became a leader in the fast fashion industry. Next up, Spotify. Now we all know that Spotify is the biggest music streaming platform. But what makes Spotify special is its ability to personalize your music experience better than anyone else. They nailed this strategy early on, which is why they dominate the market today. And finally, IKEA, the largest furniture brand in the world. They make stylish, affordable furniture that you assemble yourself. A strategy that customers love. Wow, so what's common? All these companies are market leaders in their respective domains, right? Well, yeah, that and one more thing. All of these companies belong to one country, Sweden. Okay, so some of the biggest companies in the world are from Sweden. Sweden must be a really populated country like India to have such talent, right? Well, not really. According to the World Bank data, the population of Sweden in 2022 was barely 10.5 million people. That's 4 times lesser population than Canada, 31 times lesser population than USA, and 140 freaking times lower population than that of India. So Sweden is home to world's biggest company yet has such a small population. Probably the local people of Sweden or the Swedes must be really workaholic and stressed all the time, right? I mean, how could you build such humongous business establishments otherwise? Well, again, we might be too early to judge because according to this CNBC article from 2023, Sweden tops the list with the best quality of life in the world. And according to this 2024 article, it is the 4th happiest country in the world. So Sweden, a Scandinavian country with a population of barely 10 million people, is home to the biggest companies in the world. Stockholm in Sweden is being touted as the Silicon Valley of Europe. And to top it all off, it is one of the happiest countries with the highest quality of life. So should we all pack our bags and move to Sweden? Well, easy there. Now just like you, even I thought that only people living in Sweden can do this. But upon a little more research, I realized that it's not the country. It's what we can learn from Swedes about business that can be applied sitting anywhere else in the world. These qualities of Swedes are more about leadership style and organizational behavior. And some of the biggest leaders in the world have applied these governance styles in their organizations. So watch this video till the end and we will learn 3 amazing techniques that you can apply at your business and workplace to be as successful as these companies from Sweden. The first one is the concept of Lagom. Lagom stands for not too much, not too little, just the right amount. Now the philosophical point of view of Lagom is finding joy in simple things in the moment and not overdoing it. For example, if you love having a hot cup of coffee in the rains, enjoy it, cherish it. But it does not mean that you have 15 cups of coffee because it is still raining. You cherish that 1 cup of coffee in that moment and be satisfied. Okay, but how does the philosophical concept of Lagom apply in the business world? You can't be satisfied in a capital intensive market, right? Well, the concept of Lagom is slightly tweaked but still as effective. Now, instead of finding joy in simple things, we focus on simple things in the moment and not overdoing it. Friends, has it ever happened to you that you hear a song from another language? You do not understand a word of it, but you simply fall in love with the song and want to hear it again and again? That's because you don't fall in love with the lyrics. You don't fall in love with the production quality. You fall in love with the most simple aspect of the song, and that is the melody of the song. The simplicity of melody transverses the barriers of a language. So how valuable would it be to focus on simplicity as a business strategy? Okay, so let us revisit the examples that we discussed in the beginning of this video. If you visit any H&M store across the world, be it India or China or France or USA or even Canada, almost 70% of the collection would be similar. Moreover, H&M doesn't go wild on eccentric designs. Rather, it has the most simplistic choice of apparel that is durable, affordable, and comfortable. What does IKEA focus on? Simplicity in its furniture. What does Volvo focus on? Now, while Mercedes and BMW are brand names in vehicles, a Volvo SUV is known for superior safety features and slightly cheaper service and maintenance over the years than a BMW or a Mercedes. And guess which country does Volvo belong to? You guessed it right, Sweden. The second concept that we can learn from Sweden and apply in our business is an organizational behavioral concept of Fika. Traditionally, Fika is a Swedish custom where people gather to sip a cup of coffee, eat cake, and chit chat in their short breaks. Now, this is a Swedish workplace tradition which is pretty famous in the country. But you would ask, what's new in that? Every workplace has coffee breaks, right? Well, yes, except the one difference in Swedish companies is that there is not a lot of hierarchy in the internal management. The Swede companies follow a rather flat organizational structure where there are very less or sometimes no layers of middle management between the leadership and the employees. So along with chit chat over coffee, there is a pleasant exchange of ideas and brainstorming sessions among employees and the leadership teams, which brings fresh new perspectives that might give an edge in the competitive environment, all while having a simple cup of coffee. Now, this concept of Fika and a flat organizational structure with frequent interaction between the leadership and employees is now being adopted all across the world. One such example is that of Nvidia. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang says that the entire company knows if there is an issue and literally anyone and everyone in the company can pitch an idea to fix that issue.
If there's a strategic direction, why do you tell one person?
Yeah.
You tell everybody.
By the way, if you want to know more about Nvidia's strategy and leadership, watch my video right here. That brings us to the last concept that we can learn from the Swedes, and that is having a head start in any field. Now, this concept rather combines the concept of Lagom with that of innovation. While Lagom focuses on simplicity as a business strategy, Swedes are highly innovative and don't fear trying out a new idea very early. That is, before anyone else has tried that idea in the market. H&M was one of the first brands to utilize fast fashion as a business model. Spotify was the world's first company to successfully and legally stream songs online. Skype, remember the video calling app that was super famous 15 years ago? Well, that was also a gift to the world from Sweden. Now, this attitude of having a head start gives Sweden the unique advantage of trying and failing and trying again, and yet being ahead of everyone else in the race. So friends, by applying these three concepts from Sweden at your workplace, in your startup, or your next business venture, you can build a company that provides value not just to its customers, but also to its employees. Now, before I end this video, I want to talk about an interesting TEDx video titled The Swedish Habit for Success and Why We Should All Adopt It, which is a must watch for everyone. Now, an important thing that is mentioned right in the beginning of this video is think before you act might not actually be the best idea. Now, sometimes when we have an idea, we tend to think too much about it, asking a lot of friends about it, consulting professionals, building a business model, writing a marketing strategy. And while all of this is important in the long run, these strategies only become clear when you act upon it, not just sit around and think a lot about it. Because if you think too much, you might waste a lot of time and never feel that the idea is good enough. In fact, Mark Zuckerberg mentioned the exact same thing in his famous Harvard speech in 2017. He said, "Greatest success comes from having the freedom to fail. Ideas don't come out fully formed. They only become clear as you work upon them. You just have to get started." Now, the reason I give examples of Mark Zuckerberg or say Jensen Huang before that is none of these people are from Sweden, yet they utilize those exact principles to build billion-dollar businesses. That's all from my side, friends. Hope you learned something valuable from this video. If you did, please press the like button to keep me motivated. Share your thoughts in the comments, and for more such awesome business content, keep watching The Better Company.